In this presentation, we will take a look at our payroll forms after running payroll that includes a 401k plan within QuickBooks. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. We are in the home page. We currently have the open windows open. You can open the open windows by going to the view drop-down and the open windows list. Let's take a look at our reports this time and then go into our forms, the W-2 and W-3 and 941 to see how they differ. We're going to go to the reports drop-down. We're going to go to company and financial. Take a look at the balance sheet standard first. Balance sheet standard, we're going to put the date range up top from 01/01/21 to, let's say, 01/01/18 to 12/31/18. And OK. So here's all we have on the balance sheet so far. We have our paychecks that we have processed, double clicking on them. Here's our paychecks. Scrolling down, here's the payroll liabilities. We'll concentrate more on these financial statements later, but I just want to give an example to show these financial statements because these are the core financials. So here's the reports drop down, company and financial, and the profit and loss, the other main report. Changing the date range so far from 01/01/21 to 12/31/18. It should be, let's do that again, 01/01/18 to 12/31/18. And all we have is the payroll. It's grouping all payroll into one group at payroll taxes as well as the gross pay on the income statement. So we have no income. All we've done is run the payroll. So now let's run the payroll forms and see what those look like. We're going to go to the employees drop down. We're going to go to payroll tax forms, and we're going to process the payroll tax forms, the 941s and the 940s, the 941s and the W-2 and W-3, just to see what that is doing with our two payrolls that we have done so far. We'll first take a look at the 941, so we'll click on the 941. We could create or just double click on it, so I like to double click on it. We're going to say this is for the quarter ended 03/31/18. So January, February, March, the first quarter, 03/31/18. And we're going to say OK. And that'll give us our payroll processing form. I'm going to go past the interview process and just take a look at what it's calculated for us. So we've got the wages and tips, which should be the two wages and tips there. Note, however, now that this number differs from the Social Security wages and the Medicare wages. Why? Because in essence, this is the FIT wage, and it's being decreased by the 401k. So that's going to be one of the differences as we start to build this up that we'll have to see that we can start to note on the 941. And this number over here should be the gross wage, and it's not being reduced by the 401k. That's what they earned, not being reduced by the 401k. These numbers are going to match our two payrolls, but we have to have both the employer and employee portion. We can double check it by this rate being double the standard rate. These are going to add those two up, an adjustment here, and that'll be basically our total liabilities. So we can see how if we throw in the 401k, it kind of makes a bit of a tweak in our form here between these numbers, which were the same when we had no 401k. Now if we close this back out, and we're going to go to now the W-2 form. So we're back in our employee center. We're on the file forms. We're going to go down to the W-2 W-3 form. Double click on that. We're going to change the date to 2018, and then I'm going to say OK, and we're going to say OK. It's using a different version. That's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and say review and edit. Review and edit this. And go next to the next page here. We want to look at the calculations that it is giving us. We're going to go next and next. Okay, here's the mock kind of form that we have for the W-2 for Anthony. And note what changed here. We have two payrolls that happened now. And the thing that changed here is that if we sum up those two checks, then the gross pay is really these two. These two kind of line up to the gross pay. And this pay, which would line 1, which we typically think of as our actual pay, is really not is right. It's being decreased by the 401k. So now we have these three lines which differ because of the 401k. So this one affects or this is what we report for the 1040, of course, and the related federal income taxes, which also was adjusted in the second paycheck because of that. And then we've got the Social Security and Medicare. So remember, this is only the employee portion, not the employer portion. It's half what was on the 941. And then if we scroll down here to box 12, we can see basically our difference. If we pull up the calculator, we're going to say, okay, the difference between this 8125 minus the 7922 is 203. That's the 203. That's the 401k that on the employee portion that was put in there. Retirement plan, now checked off. So those are going to be the differences, the more complications that we have. Then we have the state taxes here and the state withholdings. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.